Welcome to Learning in Educational Settings, otherwise known as Advanced Educational Psychology, sponsored by Morningside College. My name is Renee Ogren, and I just wanted you to be able to meet me as in person as we can as we are sharing online during this course. I felt strongly about you seeing who I am because I would like for you to do the same so I can know more about you as well. I truly believe relationships are key and so important in today's education. Just want to give you a little background about who I am and how I came to be in your class today. I grew up on a farm in northwest Iowa in Holstein. 4-H was my life, and through those experiences, I knew that there was only really one thing that I could do, and that would be to go to Iowa State University and graduate in home economics education. I know that's an old term too. So while I was doing my degree and working on that, I went to do my student teaching in Kansas City, Kansas at an urban school in junior high. West Junior High no longer exists. It was that scary of a place that it now has closed down. But through that experience, finding out about children, I knew I had the background of knowing what rural children were like, but then learning what urban children were like. The biggest conclusion I came are kids, and we love them wherever they are and whatever backgrounds that they come from. After my student teaching experience, I had been dating my husband-to-be for many years and wanted to look for a job in northwest Iowa. So there was just nothing to even apply for. This was 1980 and there was nothing to apply for. So I was feeling kind of desperate when August 15th came around and I still didn't have a job. But I went up to Westmar College. I bet you don't even know where Westmar College is anymore, but it was a college in Lamars, Iowa, and they had an opening that I knew I didn't qualify for, but I was getting desperate. So I went there and applied for the job, and he said, yes, you do not qualify, but I have a different job for you if you'd be willing to take it. And it was to be the director of a residence hall. Okay, I can do that. I get my own apartment and get to eat at the college. It sounded exciting to this person that was just out of college. But it was the residence hall of the all-male dorm. In fact, at that time, it was the football players' dorm, is what it was termed. So the 4-story facility that I was in charge of was recruiting young men from Florida and New Jersey. And here I was, this little rural kid, going to take care of these boys. It turned out to be an absolutely wonderful one-year experience. But it was there that I learned more about discipline than in all my other previous experiences. After that, I was so glad to get married to my current husband, and we have been for nearly 27 years. Steve and I farm south of Marcus. When I first got married then, I was looking for another job, took a half-time position for a school district, Sutherland, which also no longer exists, and was a half-time home ec teacher for a woman that was dying of cancer. Another challenging experience at that time. But while I was at Westmar, I did a lot of substitute teaching. And in fact, if I was in charge of the world, everyone would need to be a substitute teacher first. It was through that experience that I had a great respect for every teacher in what they teach. I did everything from junior high special ed to high school physics to drama class to PE, which that's a whole nother story, myself doing a PE class. But I learned to respect everyone's position by doing that job. It was also through that one of the school districts remembered me and then hired me then as their home economics teacher, and that was Remsen Union. I stayed at Remsen Union for 17 years. While I was there, worked on my graduate degree, decided that I truly loved kids and working with them and families, so my counseling degree came about in 1990 from USD. Since that time, I went right into the counselor at RU, The interesting part was the counselor before me was 7-12. When I took the position the next year, they made it K-12. Well, I hadn't been in an elementary room since I was in elementary school, so I had a lot to learn. But through that experience, I've again got a great appreciation for what elementary teachers do and the critical needs that they meet for our young people. I stayed in that position of K-12 for another 7 years. Then my dream job, so I was a total of 17 years at Remsen Union. What I really wanted to be was in the same district as my children were growing up, and that was in the Marcus Meriden Cleghorn district. Finally, a position opened up. I was so grateful when I received the job, and I became their middle school and high school counselor in 1997. My daughter was just entering her freshman year in high school. It was a great opportunity to get to know her teachers and help her through those developmental years. And my son was in upper elementary school. Since that time, I have also taken the role of being K-3 and 9-12 counselor at MMC due to geography. This following year, I will again go back to being 7-12 as we have a new addition at MMC that will suffice to hold both our 7th and 8th graders and our high school and utilize our staff. I don't know about your schools, but we're showing declining enrollment, which means less money from the state, and thus we need to be more efficient with our teachers. I'm looking forward to this new position as well. My children, Elizabeth, graduated from Iowa State University too in 2005 and then got married a few weeks after that after a student teaching experience in Norway. I highly suggest that experience as well. They now have made me into a very proud grandparent, and my little Max is about 8 months old, and that's a whole nother experience. If any of you are grandparents, share it with me. I love to hear your stories. My son Eric is a junior at Iowa State University in agricultural business. We have a very busy family, as I'm sure you do too, and that's just a little bit of background. I've been teaching classes for either the AEA or for Morningside, Buena Vista, and Wayne State College since 1991 and have totally enjoyed this experience. This particular class has been taught face-to-face as a hybrid, and now this is the first time it'll be taught totally online. We've gone through many different books. We had a very textbooky kind of educational psychology book a few years ago, but now we believe in teaching this. As you can tell, I'm a practitioner. I'm not a researcher. I am not a full-time professor. This will be taught from a practitioner's point of view. I'm still using the information that you're going to explore in the next few weeks. So our two books are Mind at a Time by Mel Levine. You might have seen him on television once in a while. This book was written before he became a TV celebrity, and I like that better, that his first research is usually always their better. And this book, I think you'll find a lot of brain research, very helpful information for the teacher. And the second one, which I have to tell you myself, the passionate teacher, Robert Fried, that when I started the first two chapters, I thought, yeah, we all know this. And as I got into this book, there were ideas that this seasoned teacher hadn't thought of and found very enlightening and exciting to see that there's still great ideas for us to use for the variety of students that we now have in our classroom. And what's so key is the PowerPoint that I want to show you that has started with the International Center for Leadership in Education. Many of our schools have gone through the rigor, relevance, and relationship modules as part of our high school transformation. But when our team went to go to this training, we highly felt that this is K-12 material.